Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. Ahoy and welcome back to another episode of The Captain's Log. This week's episode is about the myth of the perfect time, because the perfect time doesn't actually exist, and waiting for it can quietly kill your momentum. This week, I'm filming inside the casemates of the city walls of the beautiful city of Luxembourg, otherwise known as the Grand Duchy, and I wanted to talk a little bit about this procrastination idea, and it's funny because even as I was walking through the walls here or walking around Luxembourg today trying to find the perfect spot for filming, unfortunately I couldn't find the perfect spot, and then I was laughing quietly to myself because I was thinking exactly about the topic of this week's episode, and it is quite funny about how the themes tend to match up to something that I am facing with recording each episode. So here I am inside the casemates, inside the city walls of Luxembourg, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about some signals that I noticed. Recently, I decided to open the doors of the leadership community. I know it's something I've been talking about on this podcast for many months, and I hadn't actually really opened the doors or actually let people in. And recently I was at the happening a couple of weeks ago. I was at the happening with some of my peers, and I decided, even though the leadership wasn't finished yet, I was going to let people in, and it's actually been one of the best things I've ever done. I've now got around 30 members inside there, and it's active, it's engaged, and it's already creating value for the members and for me. And here's the thing. I could have waited until it was completely perfect. In fact, I don't even have an about page video in there just yet. I could have spent months polishing content, building out the systems, and designing the ideal onboarding, but I chose not to. I just opened the container and I allowed people to come in there, and now we're actually creating the community together. So I launched it right after the happening and let people in, and it's incredible what happens when you basically set the stage for the party, and you invite people to the party, and then as long as you've got the right people in, I think Jim Collins says, first who and then what. So you get the right people on the bus, and then those people that you've curated and put on that bus will actually determine where that bus goes and what kind of activities you do. So it's been amazing. So what I've learned is that the act of starting creates the conditions for improvement. And by opening the doors early, I've been able to see exactly what people want, what sparks engagement, and where to put my energy next. And if I'd waited until I thought it was perfect, I'd still be waiting, and I'd have missed all the momentum and learning that's come from real people using it. So that is definitely a practice that I'm committing to. It's about launching earlier and iterating in public, because momentum actually creates clarity, and clarity is what makes timing feel perfect in hindsight. So the compass point this week is, if you're waiting for the perfect time, I want you to stop and start now. You can't steer a ship that is still tied to the dock. Now, I am somebody who is a chronic perfectionist. It's something that I'm learning very much to not do. And it's been a practice that I've been definitely working on over the last couple of years, as I've gone on this journey where I've completely changed my life, and I've been working very deeply on myself. And now, especially because I'm traveling, I've got minimal gear. I'm shooting with what I've got. I don't have my Rode pod mic here. I've got some make-do equipment. I mean, it's great equipment that I have, but it's not my studio setup. I'm making the studio wherever I go, and I'm just hoping for the best, and I'm hoping just to deliver value. And through doing that, I'm actually getting over this whole idea of perfectionism, and I'm just getting into the habit of shipping daily, weekly, whatever it is. And I'm finding that through that process, I'm able to get more feedback. I'm able to just grow and learn. Every time I ship one of these podcasts, I always learn something new. So the reflective questions for this week are, where are you waiting for perfect before you start? What's one step you can take today to put your idea into motion? And how might momentum teach you faster than preparation ever could? So that's it for this week's episode of The Captain's Log. Have a reflection over those questions And same as always, until next week, hold fast.